Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel, and thank you for joining me for this tutorial on how to set up Adobe Audition for punch and roll recording. If you join me for the Reaper DAW setup for punch and roll recording, it'll be very similar to that. If you use Reaper instead, check the video up there, and I'll show you how to configure it for that. So let's proceed forward with this tutorial on Adobe Audition, punch and roll. Let's get to it.
456 Studios.
All right, so we have Adobe Audition open here, and there's a couple of different ways that we can set up how we'd like to record into Adobe Audition to set up our punch and roll. You can either do it in a single file, so you can come up to File, New, and just do an audio file, and we can do punch and roll that way. Or my preferred method is in a multi-track session where we can basically use multiple different tracks to do punch and roll recording, add stuff in depending on what you're doing. For audiobooks, I kind of like to do each chapter in its own track. Down the way, you just kind of mute whichever track you're not working on. So, and label these, chapter 2 and so on and so forth as you go down. But how do we configure punch and roll recording for long form narration? Well, at first we need to set up our hardware preferences. So let's go up here to Edit and go into Preferences and then Audio Hardware. In here, we're going to check a couple of different things. The default input, which will be what you're using for your microphone, and then our default output, which will be what you're using for your capability to hear what you're doing. So either your speakers or your headphones. Next, we're going to come down to playback and recording. And down here at the bottom is going to be the punch and roll settings. By default, this will be set to 5 seconds. I've set it to 6. I like that a little better. This is basically just based upon your preference. You'll notice a display pre-roll countdown timer. That pre-roll countdown timer will only display if you're actually using a video file to do your sync to. So in most cases, we're not going to be doing that. But if you're doing like an anime dub or something like that, something that you have to match to a video or over the top of the video, you'll definitely want this checked. It'll give you kind of a countdown timer. If you can see over here in the corner where the video is, right here, or wherever you have that positioned, it'll kind of give you the 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 flash, and then you'll be recording. But if you're not using video, you're not going to see it anyways, but that's what that is, just in case you're curious. The next thing that I like to set if you're using the multi-track recording method is coming up here to multi-track clips. In here, there's going to be an option that will probably be enabled by default that says automatically crossfade overlapping clips. You want to turn that off. So every time we punch over the top of one of our clips, we don't want to crossfade because we don't want to hear the previous take beneath what we're trying to record over the top of. Kind of defeats the purpose, right? If that happens by accident or you forget to turn that off, you can click on the individual punch in and uncheck in the options the crossfade, and it will turn that off. But you don't want to do that to like an hour or 2 hour long recording that you've just done and have to go through every time you punched in to do that. So I suggest turning it off here. Next, we're going to go up here into our edit menu again and keyboard shortcuts. And this is where we're going to set our punch and roll key binds. There are some default key binds, but there's going to be a key bind we're going to need to set for punch again. So if you just type in punch, it'll pull up everything we need here in this little search menu. And you'll see here that punch and roll is set to Alt-Shift-Space, I believe, by default. And I have assigned an extra button, X, to also do it because I like to use that when I'm in the recording booth. And then punch again, I don't know if that's set by default. I don't think it is. And if you would like to set it, basically what you're doing to set up your alternate settings and your shortcuts there is just click next to whatever the primary is if there's one existing, and then just hit whatever key combination right there that you would like to use to set up for that particular purpose. So you can see all the modifier keys here, and then it kind of gives you a cheat sheet up here at the top of what you already have bound to give you kind of a better selection of what you can use that's free and available. So once you're done, just hit OK, and we're almost ready to go. Next, we need to make sure that we're actually in punch and roll recording mode, because there's different record modes within Adobe Audition. So over here at your record button, you're going to need to right click and make sure that you're on punch and roll mode. I think it's on instant record mode by default, so it'll just look like this. So a really good visual indicator is if the little arrow is there on the actual icon, and then you'll know you're in that punch and roll mode, but you can always right click and double check. Next, we'll want to come up and arm our track. So we'll hit that R button, and then when we're ready to go, we can just hit record or hit our keybind, and it will start the recording. When you hit record, you might notice that you don't have any audio here in this little level meter. If that's the case and you're using a multiple input device for your interface, you can come up here to Edit, Preferences, Audio Channel Mapping, and make sure that your mapping is correct. So you'll notice up here, I have mono tracks enabled, not stereo for my recording, because it's just going to be voice only, so I only need mono. And then up here in the assignment for the mono channel, in this case on the left side, I have 2 inputs. I want to make sure that the right input is selected. For me, it's 1. 2 is in my booth across the room. So if you have a similar setup to mine, make sure that in this channel mapping, you have the right channel set to your mono channel. Otherwise, it might not be selecting the correct microphone. Obviously, everybody's system is going to be different depending upon how your setup is configured. But just a little tip in case you run into similar issues that I have had. So now we're ready to get into the punch and roll recording demo. So I'm going to go ahead, do a little recording, and then I'm going to go ahead and punch over the top of it and show you what that looks like. So here we go. Here's the recording. We're instantly recording because there's nothing really beforehand. And if I were to, let's say, make a mistake right here, I just hit the space bar and stop to the entire recording. And then I'm going to jump back to right in between. And you can turn off snapping up here at the top by clicking on this little button right here, or hitting S to toggle snapping if that's driving you nuts and you want a little bit more precise location. Just a little tip. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit the X button again, in my case, to set up the punch again and record over the top of this. It's going to play us back a couple of seconds, and then we'll record again beforehand. And if I were to, let's say, make a mistake right here, oh, I messed it up again. I'm going to go ahead and hit my repunch keybind beforehand. And if I were to, let's say, make a mistake right here, but this time I didn't. And I've successfully done my punch in. There we go. So as you can see, if you hit your repunch, it'll go back to your previous punch, and you can start over and do it as many times as you need to get that perfect take. Now, like I was saying earlier, if you forgot to turn off the crossfade feature, or you have a crossfade that is in here between your 2 takes, it's going to kind of look a little something like this, where you're going to have these 2 lines, but they go opposite of each other and they crossfade into each other. Basically, what you're going to do is right click on the little box icon and just hit no fade on the crossfade, and it should undo it for you. Here, since I did it manually, I'll just hit no fade, and we'll see that that has now gone away. Otherwise, they'll bleed into each other, and it's not going to sound great, or it's not going to be what you want at all. All right, and that's how to set up punch and roll recording within Adobe Audition DAW. If you have any questions or you run into any problems, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to answer them and help you out if I can. If you'd like to know how to set up punch and roll in other DAWs, check out some videos up there and down there that I'll be posting here at the end of the video. And now that you know how to set up your DAW for punch and roll recording, let's use those skills and do some recordings. So let's get to it.